Okay. Man, I'm already hot and tired here. I said, we're going to talk about 27 ways to market your content. Now, I'm going to make a distinction between content marketing and marketing your content. Now, content marketing could be content that is being marketed. There is that way to read that. That's not what I mean. Content marketing is when you create something that is so cool on your website that belongs to you that people will come looking for it. Your content lives on your website and it is good, so good that people come looking for it. You don't have to do anything. Just create good stuff. Your content goes to market for you. Your content does your marketing for you. Whereas marketing your content is when you create something that, again, is really, really good, but it's not so good that it attracts people all by itself. In other words, you have to grab that piece of content, then you have to go out and about and say, hey, you, look, we watch kind of thing. Do you see the difference? One, the content does the work. The other one, I work for my content. Got it? They're different. I am a content marketer. I understand the whole marketing your content concept. I know how to do that. It's not nearly as much fun. Don't get nearly as good results. But I am a content marketer. I want to learn how to create stuff that people come looking for. Think of it, and this is an example I like to use, think of it as Disney. I have a little 6-year-old at home. She loves the princesses. I know who the next Disney princess is going to be. And she doesn't come out till 2016. And I know that because I went looking for it. And I found it. It's going to be Princess Mona. She's going to be in the Caribbean islands. And it comes out in 2016. See, Disney creates content that does its own marketing. You know, Disney also markets its content. Don't make any mistakes. You drive up and down 101, you see pictures of Toy Story and all that kind of stuff. That's marketing your content. But a really good website, a really good product markets itself. Somebody's ringing. Somebody needs to take their medicine. Okay. So 27 ways to market your content. Now, I hesitate to show this to Lorraine or Edie or Mary Lynn or anybody for that matter, because what I'm going to do is give you 27 different ideas on how to market what it is you have. And you're going, oh my goodness, isn't that cool? I should do that too. And then I should do that, and I should do that, and I should do that, and then I should do that, and I should do that. And the end result is what? You're going to have so many things to do that you don't do any of them right. This is a tactic of the devil. Being in the church, I can use this example. Being a Christian, I can use it. It is a tactic of the devil that if he cannot stop you from doing something good, he will give you, or she will give you, if it cannot stop, the devil cannot stop you from doing something good, the devil will give you so much good to do that you don't do anything right. Mm-hmm. You just get spread so thin that nothing turns out the way it should. Right. And I got another graph. I'll try and show this to you if I remember, of why this fails. What is the number one obstacle? What is the biggest challenge for the digital marketer, for the content marketer? But first, we're going to look at the 27 ways to do this. I hope. Come on. Let's come on. Yeah, look at that. That's hard to see, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Too bad for you. You should have moved here. Should have got here earlier. Let me make this. It's really hard to do a thumb thing.
So you share this large with us later?
Oh. No what?
Is this on the ebook that you sent me?
Yeah, I can share with
you. No, is it in the book?
Nancy, all you have to do is remember, Bill's a nice guy. He doesn't sound very nice sometimes, but he really is nice, right?
Oh. Is this graph that?
No, this is new. I just built this for you guys for tonight. Oh. All right, and I get the problem is here. So can you all see that in the back? Yeah. Franca Patula. So here we go. We got 27 different ways to start at the top. And I want to explain all 27. But I want you to think in your mind. Right? You hear me say this all the time. Those of you regulars, it's cheaper, more time, and more cost efficient for people to find you than it is for you to find them. Cheaper for people to find you than it is for you to find them. People finding you is what? content marketing. You finding people to read, that's marketing your content. So I want you to think in your mind, am I marketing my content, or is my content doing my marketing in any of these 27? Am I pushing people somewhere, or am I pulling people somewhere? And if you're pushing some people, you're in a marketing your content. If you're pulling some people, you're in a content marketing. Fair enough? So think about that as we go through. So social media. Now, this is Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter Plus, and LinkedIn. I read Twitter. Some of you are here when I said it. Twitter has 974 million registered users. 44% of them have never tweeted, ever. So we got 430 million Twitter accounts that have never been used. They just registered and said, I got a Twitter account.
How many fake people?
Oh, and that's another different demographic in all of itself. So this is Google Plus, Twitter, LinkedIn, and these kinds of things. I draw a distinction. The people who did this research, they're B2B content marketing trend people. They don't draw the distinctions. Social networking versus social media. The social media I teach is I create a medium where I publish stuff on my site and interact on my site. That's my social medium. That's my social media. Social networking is when I interact on other sites to try to get people interested in coming over here to see me and do this, right? So I'm on Facebook trying to generate buzz so that people will come over here and see my website. I'm on LinkedIn trying to generate buzz so people will come in. I'm on Twitter doing little mini 140-character publishing. I'm on Google Plus, not really sure what I'm doing, but the end result is I'm trying to get people to come over here to my blog, right? You see, so push or pull. That's right, push. Is anybody here besides me? Okay, I know. Anyway, articles on your website, putting stuff on your website. That's searchable, that people can find. So it's nothing different than a blog. I don't know why they distinguish the two, but you put articles on your website. You know, that would be, I got this glorified site. I don't blog. I write articles. Okay, well, whatever. But putting something on your website that's findable, that's searchable, that people can come. Cool. E-newsletters. E-newsletters. You know, once a week, once a month, once a day. You do some sort of aggregate, whatever. Put this in an email format and do what? Push. You email it out. You try to get it into people's email boxes so that they can get noticed among the other 33 or 333, whatever. I'm trying to newslet my e-content from my website. It's another way for me to try to get people to come here. People over here doing something, and I want them to come over here and do something. Blogs. Everybody say, yeah, we love blogs. Yes, we love blogs. Bob, I love blogs. We love blogs. Yeah. I see blogs used to be, you know, where am I here? See, it used to, the blogs, lost my cursor. Yeah, my cursor. Here it is. So blogs used to be, don't have a love life, don't have a job, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, think I'll go eat worms. You all know that song? Nobody loves me, everybody hates me, think I'll go eat worms. You know that? All right. Little bitty tiny ones, great big slimy ones, boy do I love worms. Tear off the outside, up the inside. Boy do I love worms. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. So anytime you see somebody sitting around feeling sorry for themselves, it happens all the time. People sit, nobody, not in this room, sit around feel sorry for you. Sing that song to them. Tear off the outside, and then you know it could be worse. You could be sucking the innards out of worms, right? And then you don't feel sorry for yourself anymore. But blogging, see, that's what blogging used to be. It's not that way anymore. It's grown up. Now it's matured into offering real content for real people who have real problems. You have a real solution. So it's content marketing grown, or blogs are content marketing grown up, or the other way around. In-person events. I just about an hour ago, I got off the Skype call with a woman in Singapore. If you're taking my picture, you got to remember to tell me, fucking.
I don't want to mess up the video, so I'm being quiet.
I'm just trying to suck in my gut here, and you got to tell me when to let it back out here.
Pretend you're on TV.
You got to ignore the camera. Anyway, she sighed audibly. I get so tired of going to events to try to get. I get so tired of the in-person getting up, and that's what's that? That's a push, right? Push. Case studies. Right? You create case studies. Well, case studies are really good, but how many case studies can you create? Can you do this a lot and every day? And you say after a while, yeah, I've created a good case study. I got this good result from this. And then what are you going to do, John? You pick that case study and walk around saying, read this, read this, read this. Now back into the push mode. Videos. Everything's about video. Video. So here I am on YouTube watching, William do the William. And what's the end result? I'm trying to get him off of YouTube to come over here to do this, ain't I? I can put a call to action on the end of my YouTube video, but the end result is I'm trying to get him from there over here to do that. Videos are great. Videos are great. But if you're stuck in YouTube land, they're no good. If you're going to create a video, put that video on your website so that when people search it out, they find it existing on your website where they can watch it there, where the call to action exists right there. So when my video is over there, I'm no good. When my video is here, it's good. Articles on other websites. This is Lorraine, driving me nuts, saying, Bill, right. So you can put your article on my website, right? Well, now it's going to remain to be seen whether that was worth my time or not. It's going to be worth my time? Of course it will. That's exactly, because why? Because why? She's going to market the content, not me. Now, and see, it's different. That's like getting a publisher to publish your book for you, as opposed to you writing your own self-published book. Right? You see the difference. Articles and other websites. White papers is nothing more than a case study. Somebody doing independent research. Now I've got this 6-page, 18-page, 183-page PDF that I've created, and I've turned it in. I'll call it an ebook because ebooks sound better than white papers. But what I've done is I've created something, and what I want to do, I want to yell real loud until people come read that. And when they're done reading it, what do I want them to do? I want them to click and come to my website. Online presentations. A webinar, I got a webinar. I do this all the time. I wonder, what am I doing here? And I'm not practicing what I preach, right? Webinar. So online presentations. Logmycalls.com. They go, Bill, would you do an online presentation for me? Well, they did all the marketing. All I had to do was show up and talk. Webinars. I'm webcast. I'm podcast. Same idea. So I have created something online, and I'm just yelling as loud as I can to get people to come and see what it is I'm going to share with them. Right? Push or pull. You're getting out infographics. We know what infographics are, right? I can move this up. I did. That's really hard to do. I'm going to try. Infographics. There's all cute little pictures. They're fun, aren't they? Infographics are fun. They really are. I like infographics. Yeah, but it's a picture of stuff. See, Google search engines can't read pictures. They just see pixels. So when I got me a really good solid infographic, I'm going to have to do what? I'm going to have to embed text around that so people know what it's about. And they take a long time to create. And if they don't take a long time to create, they take a lot of money to create. So it's either a lot of your time, which equals money, or a lot of somebody else's time, which equals you have to pay for that, which equals money. And then when you're done, you can't do these all the time. So what's the end result, Bianca? I got this really pretty picture, and I run around yelling, telling people to look at it. Now, do it. You should do this. If you're going to do something else, do this. And make it so good that by the time you've yelled loud enough, people have grabbed it and passed it around. Right? If they're not passing it around, but even if they are passing it around, it's still a push proposition. You see, what I could do is I could create a blog, put a super duper cool infographic in that blog that people search and find. Oh my goodness, look at this infographic in here too. And then my text does my marketing for me. My content markets for me. My content markets my infographic. Research reports, that's like white papers, all that we're trying to. This is what I do when I teach at university. I make my students do research. And then I steal their stuff and put it on my website. Yeah. So I'm teaching a class. Dwayne, you've done this, haven't you? Well, more or less. That's what you do. That's why teachers teach, so they can get people to do work for free and we can learn stuff. So my alma mater, I went to a Bible college in Cincinnati. They invited me back in January for a week-long, 40-hour intensive class on how to do this. So I'm going to yell at them. And I do. I yell at people. And then I get to give them homework. I'm going to make 20 people all write 3,000 words each. Man, that's a lot of stuff I can put on my website when I'm done. And not only that, that's just their final report, right? And I'm going to make them write 6 articles a day. So I got 20 people writing 6 articles a day. That's 120 articles times 5. That's 600 articles. 120 times 6, 5. 600, I get 600 articles done in 1 week. I just schedule them to go out on my website. Make sure they didn't cut and paste or cheat. But no, see, research reports are great stuff. But at the end of the day, you're going to do what? You're going to start yelling at people. Read my report, read my report, read my report. Right? Branded content tools. That's like little rubber brains, I think, you know. You got little plastic headbands and you want to pass them around. This is what they call swag. Right? You got swag. You're trying, you know, when you go to a conference, and people give you little bags of M&Ms, except they got W's on them instead of M's, right? Are there any blondes in here? Yeah, I'm a blonde. I get it. You know, there was a blonde girl who used to work at M&M factory. Her job was a spell checker.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. But they would never let her take a break because every time she took a coffee break, they'd have to retrain her. Okay. Well, they finally had to fire her because she kept throwing away the W's. You know how to tell when a blonde's been using M&Ms to make chocolate chip cookies? You can see all the shell peelings on the ground in the kitchen. Okay. Mobile content. Well, you see, if I created a website that is what they call responsive, now I wrote something, and it shows, no matter what size the device it shows up on, it adjusts to the size. So I don't have to create mobile content. I can just create regular stuff that'll feed itself on a mobile. Who? What did she say? She said the same thing?
Responsive.
Yeah. Good. Go Kim. I don't even know who she is. Yeah, but that's right. That's exactly right. If you have a responsive site, you don't have to do something else. It'll do it for you. But there is a different strategy for mobile. But it's beyond the scope here. But print magazines, right? That's like, we live in California. Who would dare put anything on paper ever again? And we got trees, and we love our trees. We will not sacrifice our trees ever again. I don't think my little girl's ever seen a paper book before, a print magazine. But she knows how to work her iPad. E-books, you know, that's when you turn your white paper into a e-book and put a pretty little paper, put a little graphic on the front. You see where we're going here? And Lorraine said, man, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. Right?
I'm getting more focused.
Yeah, see, that's the whole point here, is to say, wow, there's so many things I could do. What do I do? And the answer to that question is pick one and do it. Then we got books. How many people write books and say, well, I'm going to be famous now. I wrote a book. Seriously, how many people thought if I wrote a book, I'd be famous? We thought that. Of course we did. Of course I did. See, books are just glorified calling cards, glorified business cards. All they are anymore. Business card. I mean, book opens up a door to speak, and speak. You don't make any money doing that. It's the follow-up. It's the teaching. It's the holding of the hands. That's where you make your money. So mobile apps. You know that 80% of all apps on your phone you've never used. All you do is download and put it on your phone, and then you never did anything with it. 80% of all, the 20/80 rule, 80% of all mobile apps that are put onto a phone are never seen again. They just kind of live on the phone. You got any apps on your phone, Nancy, that you never used? I don't have to answer that. Huh?
I think there's automatic apps that.
Yeah, they stick stuff on it. You can't get rid of that. NFL or whatever. All right, so digital magazines. Now, digital magazines, nothing, it's just a glorified print magazine, except you take a whole month to put it all together, and then you try to email it out. Podcasts. Podcasts, right? You know, the whole voice thing. Now, you do these regularly. But how are we going to search? You know how Google searches content of podcasts? They see there's audio scripts going on, and they download the audio, play it on a server somewhere, transcribe it, then read it, measure the word density and all that stuff, and decide whether the content's relevant or not before it displays. And they can do it, and they're really fast. They do the same thing with YouTube videos. You know, they'll watch a video, and they'll play the audio, they'll download the audio, and off they go. You know, Google's really sharp. Now, I'm not a super fan, but they're still really sharp, because now they can identify images. This is what this is, and they'll make that relevant to search results. So they can actually watch a video, then listen to the video, and blah, blah. But at the end of the day, we're still trying to market our stuff rather than get our stuff to market for us. Licensed syndicated content is when you steal from other people. You know, you just say, I'm going to steal this from you and put this on my website. You pretend like it was mine. And I'm going to call it aggregating content. Right? So it doesn't even belong to you in the first place. And when you get if and when it gets found, what are you going to do at the end? What's your call to action going to be? I good at stealing other people's stuff? Why don't you hire me to, right? I'm really good at stealing. Why don't you hire me? You see it? Virtual conferences, that's it's a glorified webinar, except you got a whole bunch of people doing it. You got webinar after webinar after webinar. And so it's a conference that we do online. And the reports. Yeah, those are really popular. You got to write those every day. Last year on September 29th, last year on September 30th, last year on September 31st, there is no September 30th. Print newsletters, so e-newsletters, print. Game, yeah, I got to do that. Games. Now, Mr. Halfdome, yours is more like an app, wasn't it? Your Hike Halfdome. See, at the end, the simple rule is, have I given people something that's useful? And when you give some people something that's useful, it'll serve you. And then it becomes a matter of, do I take what I've created, and do I have to push that, or does it go to work for me? Now, out of this list, there's probably just a couple of things that really will go to work for you, right? Your blogs, your articles, that sort of thing. I want to show you. I got a final picture. Always got to have a final picture, right? Right? Here we go. See, even a little girl can figure out. Yeah, this is how you do it. Right? You guys are a tough crowd. I'm telling you. You guys are a tough crowd.
Where are the other two?
The other two what?
I've only got 25 ways.
I'll send it to you. That's not what I want. Wow. I wrote this today put it on LinkedIn. I put it on my website and then I cut and pasted it on LinkedIn. You can do that because LinkedIn's its own ecosystem, right? So you don't have to worry about duplicate content because I have it over here in the search engine world. Now I have it over here in the LinkedIn world. I don't have to worry about anybody accusing me of being duplicate because they're separate ecosystems, they're separate systems. But obstacles to digital marketing success. Let's look at the first one here. The number one reason why marketing efforts fail, right, is the lack of an effective strategy. Now, what that means is lack of an effective strategy. What that means is you've got 27 different things you're doing, and you don't know how to do it. You're trying to juggle 27 different. And inside social media, you're trying to juggle 4 within the 20. You see what I'm saying? So lack of an effective strategy. Call it lack of focus. The average business uses 11 of those 25 strategies. Can you imagine trying to do 11 things? And trying to get some sort of result out of it? Yeah, it doesn't work. What you want to do is pick one that works. And the one that works the best is when you put your content to work for you instead of you working for your content. All right, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anybody got any questions or dirty remarks?
So what's the advantage of copying over to LinkedIn?
It's because LinkedIn's its own publishing platform. People go on LinkedIn and search within LinkedIn to find the same thing. So there are people who will search for stuff on LinkedIn that they don't search for in a search engine. They're on LinkedIn, they're trying to do business, they're looking for something about content marketing, whatever, and they'll search within there. They're looking for how to succeed at digital marketing. And they search that in the LinkedIn platform, but then there's other people sitting over here trying to figure out in the big picture world. And so I can use the same content on both.
I didn't know that.
I know, that's why I'm telling you, that's why you came here.
So now I get to publish tomorrow.
You do, just take the same thing, just put it over here instead of over there. Or put it there first because that's your home site.
Right.
Then put it over here. And then at the end, you have a call to action. Say, hey, dude, like on my website, talk to me or something like that. You don't even have to send them somewhere else because they're already here.
Right.
And so LinkedIn has, I'm more of a LinkedIn fan than I used to be because LinkedIn has grown up. Used to be a bunch of losers who didn't have jobs. Now it's just half losers who don't have jobs. It really, okay, I'm sorry, but it's true, right? It's just a bunch of whiners who didn't know what else to do, so they build LinkedIn profiles. But LinkedIn, bless their hearts, they've grown. It's matured. You got high quality stuff. You still got people doing nonsense, but that happens in the real world, happens in the search world as well. But that's what that'll do. These are the people who created it, so I give them credit.
Do you ever put things on Quora?
Nope.
It's more of a form. It's not that one.
Never. Because if I'm over there, my end game is to try to get them to come over here. I ain't going to play that game. I'm not going to do it. It's hard to not do other stuff. It is. It's hard because it's easy to go on Facebook and get likes. It's easy to go on Twitter and get retweets. It's easy. It really is, but it's no good. And so I got 600 people to retweet, and then I'll tell this for you guys. Rest of you guys don't yawn on me. So I wrote an article for National Online Journal. It got retweeted 600 times. Say, wow.
Wow.
Okay. If you don't think that's hard, you do it. You try to get 600 people you don't know from Adam to spread something you found. Well, they did. Well, out of those 600 people, I went to every single one of their websites, one by one. I created an Excel spreadsheet. How many followers does this one have? 400, 677, 9,203, 16, and a loser. And I just listed how many followers they had. And when I got done, 600 people, I had a long row of numbers, and at the bottom, I knew how many people. 2.4 million.
Wow.
That's right, 2.4 million potential eyeballs. Well, we know everybody don't see everything on Twitter, but because half of them don't even exist. 2.4 million potential pairs of eyeballs saw that website. But what I care about, Frank, is how many of them came to my website. Everything else is everything. Who cares how many people know my name if they don't come and buy something from me? Well, out of that 2.4 million, 1% would have been 24,000. Didn't happen. 1/10 of 1% would have been 2,400. Didn't happen. 1/10 of 1% would have been 240. Didn't happen. 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of 1/10 of 1% would have been 24. Didn't happen. 18 people. 2.4 million pairs of eyeballs might have saw that article and 18 bothered to come and see who wrote it. Doesn't that sound like something I want to do every day? You see, when you're in the yellow at the top, working in the social networks trying to get people to act, it's a losing proposition. When you're trying to push people over there, over here, it's just not going to work. Pull. It's a pull proposition. Create really good stuff. Do it really, really well. Do it for a very long time, and people will come find you out. And if they don't find you out, if you've written a lot of stuff, and there's still nobody coming, what's the problem, William? I've written so much stuff, and people still don't come to my website. What's the problem? You haven't written enough. Because I know that if I write enough, they'll come. So it might be the problem that my market's too big. I'm trying to compete with somebody much bigger than I am. Well, that doesn't make any difference who I'm competing against if I'm not being found because I haven't written enough. Or, Walmart's just bigger than I am, or they publish more than I have. I could beat Walmart. It would just be really hard. Yeah, I just have to do more than they do. Do it better than they do. Do it more often than they do, and do it longer than they do. You see, we can beat anybody, anything. It's just not easy. So if you don't have enough people showing up, you haven't solved enough problems for enough people. William does photography. You just haven't written enough. You see where I'm going, right? You just haven't done it enough. Either you don't do it right. You don't do it well. You don't get good titles. Write this down, Nancy. You don't get good titles. You don't get good images. You don't have good captions. You don't have good original content. You don't have good linkage. Linking internally. You're not linking externally. You're not doing timeless to show that you're credible. You're not doing timely. You're not connecting to what goes on in the real world. If you just do those things over and over and over again, you will be found. It just works. Because what does Google want? Well, they want good stuff. There are people sitting in rooms trying to figure out what the robots want. There are people who create robots trying to figure out what real people want. and they want what real people want. So just create real stuff for real people, and you'll be found out. It's cool. It's kind of cool to just kind of sit and work, and people find you. Now, ideally, you would want an 80-20 rule, wouldn't you? Where I spend 80% of my time working really, 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 really hard creating good stuff, and then 20% of my time, telling my friends about it. There's nothing wrong with that, right? If you have a choice, just write. But what happens is people want to spend 80% of their time talking to other people because that's more fun, right? Because there's real people. Oh, there's friends, we can talk and we can eat pie together. That's more fun than working. But if you're going to make a choice, do 80% of your stuff, just write new content, 20% touching other people, instead of the other way around. Okay, I'm going to stop. And then if I still got a question, too late.